something that you never be. But I wake up and that ain't nothing wrong. Just get ready to work. To me, I be work. You see me do me dirt. So me let that work. Na, 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 na. When you walk out,
Welcome back, folks. We'll shut that down. Welcome. This is the second half of our virtual Super Saturday for February 25th. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zeech International, and welcome to my home office. One of the great privileges of being able to be involved in this profession in the 21st century, unlike 50, 60, 70 years ago when this profession first started. Technology has provided an environment where even people like myself can build an international business with Zeech International and do so on a part-time basis, from home. My story is pretty simple. Many years ago, I was a cross-country truck driver. I did that for a number of years, and at that point in my life, as a much younger man, my situation changed. I had a situation where I needed to provide a significantly above level of income to provide for the needs of my son as he was entering school age. And with my background, there was no place other than this profession in network marketing where I was going to be able to create a substantial income, if you will, a six-figure income, yet have time, freedom, and flexibility in my life to meet the needs of my son. This profession is fulfilled on all of those promises. Literally, within 10 years, I was able to compress what would have taken perhaps, 2 lifetimes as a truck driver to compress that income into a short 10 years. And it allowed me to retire as a much younger man. And over the years, I had the opportunity to do things that people only dream about, work if I wanted to, didn't work if I didn't want to. I got to take 6 years off from work to raise my grandson. My younger boy had my first grandson, and that's a story that some of you may have heard before. Both of my boys were too young to be out on their own after curfew. My grandson needed a parent, and my son needed time to become one. And because of what I was able to do in a short period of time, I was able to have that time freedom and the financial resources to do that. And then at that point in time, when my boys were on their own, it was time to move home, take care of my mother. She raised us as a single mom. She sacrificed all her life for me and my sister. And I had the great privilege, since I was already retired, I didn't need to work, to be able to come back to the family home and care for my mom in her home. She's now 90 years old. And it's a great blessing to be able to be here. And at that point in my life is when I was introduced to Zeech International. And because I'd had the experience in the industry, I knew what to look for. I was able to start from home on a part-time basis, working around the schedule of my mother's needs, and build a business that's been able to literally grow worldwide. It's created an incredible level of income that, frankly, even for me, it's hard to believe. But today, we are dealing with a situation with our company where we are entering into an extremely magical time with Zeech International. We've been in business just 10 years. When I started with the company, they were a very small company back then. We had one product. We had an antiquated compensation plan. But the advantage I had, this was the third time I did this. And what I simply did is I followed a simple system that I was taught 30 years ago now to create a large self-duplicating distribution organization. And I was very fortunate. After the first 3 years with the company, we entered into what is called the first wave. We hit a point in time where in all companies, it was a natural progression. And we went from $10 million a year in annual sales to over 50 million, almost 100 million in sales. And I rode that wave and created, at that point in time, what became a lifelong residual income. The reason we're involved this morning with our virtual Super Saturday, and in particular this segment, the Fast Start training, is it's my opportunity to share some information on how to do what we do in our profession with many of you that are maybe just getting started, because we are right now 10 days away from an announcement from Zija, from our corporate team, that is going to set the industry on its ear. Okay, we are about to enter into the second wave. And this was an opportunity I had with my last company back in the late 80s and 90s. I joined a company that was about $100 million in sales, and I rode that wave to $500 million in sales. And in that period of time, I was able to fulfill what most people can't even do in a lifetime. And it set everything up to bring me to where I am today. And because of what's about to happen with Zija, this is my opportunity to share with you a few simple concepts, a few simple strategies that was shared with me many years ago. And all I can tell you is that right now, if you take the time, grab your notebook, grab your journal, write down a few of these things. Because what I'm going to share with you over the next several minutes is exactly what was shared with me. And even though I did not have an opportunity to be with a company like Zija International back then, even with a company that didn't have, you know, a tenth of what Zija has happening for it, I was able to create an income that changed everything for the rest of my life. So let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully you have a chance, you've gotten your notebook here. What I want to do is I want to take a moment and let's start this morning training with an understanding of exactly what this business is. See, our business, our profession in network marketing is no different than any other traditional business. Business in the Western world, in let's say America, business is real simple, okay? A company has either products or services they need to move into the marketplace. That's business. That's what we do. Network marketing is the same thing. It is a business, or if you will, a distribution model designed to move products or services into the marketplace. Now, the hardest part of this profession of network marketing is to find the right company, to find a company that has the experience at the corporate team to be able to create a long-term opportunity. If you look at the statistics, the profession of network marketing has been around for close to 70 years now. And in that period of time, there have been literally thousands upon thousands of companies that have come and gone. I mean, the average life expectancy of a network marketing is company is less than 24 months. A good run is considered 5 years. If you look at the professions, there's less than 30 companies that have stood the test of time. Okay, a couple of dozen companies that have become what we call legacy companies, companies that have been in business over 20 years, have done $1 billion in cumulative sales. These are the granddaddies. Now, within that very small segment, there's only about a dozen companies that have ever achieved $1 billion in annual sales. That's extremely rare. When I was introduced to Zija International, what got my attention was the name of the founder and owner of Zija, Ken Brailsford. He's the only man in history that has created 2 of those multi-decade, multi-billion-dollar companies. Nobody's ever done that before. And when I heard that Ken had come out of retirement for his 3rd and final project, that's all I needed to know. Didn't make any difference what the product was. The fact that I could be part of a Ken Brailsford company, to know the integrity of the owner of the company, which then becomes the integrity of the product, which then becomes, you know, the integrity of the opportunity. I wanted to be part of a Ken Brailsford company because I'm never going to claim to be the smartest or brightest guy out there. Okay, I'm not dumb, but I'm certainly not going to claim to be the brightest one. But there are a few things I've learned over my lifetime. And one of the things that I learned, it's a philosophy, it's a principle. The character of the kingdom emanates from the king. And when I heard that Ken Brailsford was starting his 3rd project, what I was guaranteed was there would be integrity at the corporate level, integrity in the quality of our product, and integrity in the longevity of our opportunity. And so when I found this company, then it became real simple to simply do the foundational elements of creating a successful network marketing business. So if you understand that our business is like every other business, we simply move products into the marketplace. We have to understand the distribution models. Now, there are 3 distribution models that every company can pretty much be included within one of those. One way to move products and services in the marketplace is through retail sales, and that's what we're most familiar with, okay? Much of the cost of a product is related to marketing and advertising to create, brand awareness in the consumer of the product, to drive the consumer to leave the house, go to the store, buy the product. That's retail sales. Well, that's not our distribution model in Zija. There are no Zija stores, okay? So that particular distribution model, which represents the greatest amount of sales in the world today, that's not our distribution model. Now, second distribution model is direct sales, and it's really the opposite of retail sales. It's where instead of the consumer going to the salesperson goes to the consumer, okay? And in direct sales is the highest paid profession in the world. And it's real simple. When we take that, about half the cost of any product is related to marketing. In direct sales, that money goes to the salesperson, okay? Now, some of you may not be as old as me. I'm 106 years old, well, almost. But, I remember back in the days, direct sales was how we sold, Bibles. Maybe you'll remember the Fuller Brush Man, encyclopedias. For you young folks, encyclopedias, that's Google in book form, okay? Direct sales was how we sold those kinds of things. Now, in today's marketplace, high-end vacuum cleaners is a really good example of a direct sales item. Now, I want you to be aware of this. If you spend $1,000, $1,200 on a vacuum, that's not the cost of the vacuum. About half of that cost goes to the vacuum, and the other half is in the form of commissions, profitability, and part of that will go to the salesperson that, spilled dirt on your carpet and used the fancy vacuum to clean it up. The other half goes to the shop that he works for. Now, direct sales is what a lot of people perceive the third distribution model will be. The third distribution model, network marketing is a common term. Multi-level marketing is kind of an older term. It's actually a term I personally prefer more because it more accurately describes what we do. Person-to-person marketing, relationship marketing, a lot of terms for it. That distribution model is unique and different than direct sales. Now, direct sales, a lot of people perceive network marketing to be direct sales, and it's understandable, okay? That's how our product's sold. The actual end consumer, the user of our product, the product is sold by an independent distributor. All legitimate network marketing companies belong to the DSA, the Direct Selling Association. It's in our name. We're called direct sales companies. So it's understandable why a lot of people perceive this as a profession of selling. What I want to share with you is that's one component of the third distribution model, the third distribution model being network marketing. And you may want to kind of write this down simply so you can see it visually. Our profession, like every other business, is to create a consumer base. And if you have some consumers, you make some money. If you have more consumers, you make more money. If you have a lot of consumers in your business, you're going to make a lot of money. That's pretty simple. Now, you can approach it through a direct sales process. Go get one customer, go get another, go get another, go get another. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. That's a component of what we do. Now, network marketing, this distribution model has another component to it. Because while we can look for people that are interested in improving their health and nutrition, perhaps losing weight, improving their wellness through natural products like our Ameo essential oil lines, we've tapped into the sports nutrition with our Ripsticks products. I mean, we're targeting multi-billion-dollar industries, weight loss, health, nutrition, all organic. The health and wellness through essential oils, The fastest growing segment of the nutritional industry is sports nutrition. Go to any one of the big box nutrition, like the Vitamin Shop, GNC. The fastest growing segment of shelf space is in sports nutrition products. So as a company, as a business, we have targeted 3 separate market trends that are multi-billion-dollar industries today. And what we're bringing to market is leading edge, cutting edge, category creator products. Now, we can focus on that. And I'm saying we do that, okay? We get customers. But there's another area, another trend that we can tap into, and that's based upon the economy. I want you to think about it for a minute. Do you know somebody that might be interested in having more income on a daily or monthly basis, having more time freedom, more flexibility in their day-to-day schedule, having more fun in their life? Who do you know would be interested in more money, more free time, or more fun? Now, some of you are thinking, that's everybody I know. And you're right. Very few people wouldn't want an environment where they could have greater income, more free time, and more fun. Now, we know that not everybody's going to do what we do, but everybody wants what we have: more money, more free time, more fun, and it doesn't take that many. And so what I was taught 30 years ago, in addition to looking for people that need and want our products, look for people that need and want our opportunity. And the focus here is to develop a distribution organization. This is where leverage comes in. As a business owner, maybe I provide a service, maybe I sell a product, but there is a finite level of consumers I can get based upon my time. If I have a store on Main Street, there's only so much business I can do out of that store. For me to be able to increase my income, I'm going to have to go get another store somewhere else in town. In our business model, it's a very similar process. Rather than me going out and getting one customer and another, I also look for people who would like my opportunity. And this is something that is incredibly powerful. All I have to do is find one person who, like me, would like more money, more free time, more fun. And then what I do is I help them develop a couple of people just like them. Maybe get the first 2 distributors. Now, my next job is to then take those 2 people and help them get their 2. And now I have 4 people on the second level of my new distributor's business. Hence the term multi-level. And then I'm going to help those 4 people find their 2, their first 2. Now I have 8, and so on. And if you do the math, I can start with one person, help them get 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 30. Very similar to 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 4. That's linear customer acquisition. When I focus on the multi-level component, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 becomes 30. Now, think about this for a moment. With nothing more than sharing the concept of creating a part-time business that can create additional income, time freedom, have a lot of fun doing it, I've got 30 distributors. Now, what's unique about distributors is we're all consumers. I consume the product. Every single person, if you were part of our first presentation earlier this morning where we shared about the company and the products, you had a chance to meet several people that have been involved with us and are building businesses. They're consumers too. Everybody consumes the product. Now, what's kind of unique about distributors, we tend to consume more product than the average customer. I mean, the average customer, maybe they're using, 1 serving a day of one of our Moringa products, perhaps. Well, as distributors, we tend to consume more product, which makes sense. We're familiar with the company's product offerings. We're interested in using other products. A typical distributor will use more products than a typical customer. Now, distributors do something else that customers don't do. Distributors will occasionally purchase some extra product for the purposes of advancing their business, sampling out to others. And so if you had the choice between 30 distributors or 30 customers, distributors are a more efficient way to move product and, into the marketplace. Now, when you start to learn about the results people get with our products, this will make, total sense to you. doesn't it make sense that those 30 distributors are likely to get 1 or 2 customers themselves? Think about it. Young gal, she loses 12 pounds her first week, her first month on the Zija products. You think the other gals in the office are going to want to hear about that? Well, of course they will. Take an old guy like me in the gym, after a few weeks on the Zija products, I got more energy. Maybe I don't have that problem with the bad knee from playing ball in school. You think the other old guys in the gym are going to want to hear about it? Of course. So naturally, just by being on the product, my 30 distributors are likely to get another customer, maybe 2 customers, and then you go from 30 to 60 to 90 consumers. See, this is the concept of network marketing. If you'll notice, I've been able to start with 1 person, help them get 2, and so on. Naturally, using the products, people will have others want to use the product. I went from 1 person to 60 or 90 consumers, and if you notice, nobody's selling the product yet. See, this is the network marketing distribution model. It's a business of a lot of people doing a little, not a few people doing a lot. And that little example that I just shared with you, if you take that through a period of time, that is how I've been able to create a consumer base that today is in the thousands of people. These are people who have been using our products for a month, 6 months, a year, in some cases 7, 8, 9 years. They use the product every day. They reorder every month. It has become a significant source of residual income. So understand, first of all, what our business is about. Like every other business, our business is to develop a consumer base. But using professional network marketing strategies, you can build a huge consumer base, but rather than doing it by yourself, you help many other people develop income. And quite frankly, if you think about it, the backbone of our distributor organization are people making $250 a week, $1,000 a month. And we really don't have to be talking about millions of dollars to get people's attention. In today's economy, if you could help the average family generate an extra $1,000 a month, that would change their lives. Who got a $12,000 raise this past year from their employer? What does that kind of money mean? It means all kinds of things. It could be funding the private school for a child. It could be the difference between raising the kids in an apartment versus a home, or maybe getting the mortgage payment, the down payment for the mortgage, a nicer car, a better vacation. Something as simple as $1,000 a month can change people's lives, and that's what we have an opportunity to do. Now, let's talk about what do we really do in our business. 3 things, put them in your notes, because the key to our business is having a simple system. This is the magic behind network marketing. If you have a simple system that teaches these 3 things, if the system is simple enough to be taught, it can be learned by the average person. And if the average person can learn it, where the magic takes place is when the average person can teach the others. So the 3 things that we do in our business: number 1, we share our products. That's what we do. We share our products, what has happened with us on the products, what's happened with others. That's our business. Sharing with people these life-changing products. So that's number 1. Number 2, we share our opportunity. We allow people the opportunity to be involved in this great endeavor of changing the way the world addresses, health, wellness, vitality. So, number 2, we share the opportunity. Number 3, we teach others to do the same. Folks, that's all there is. We share our product, we share our opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. Now, in the simplicity of this system is the biggest challenge, because that's all we do, and anything beyond that takes away from the system. It takes away from what we are really all involved in. And so one of the things that I was taught 30 years ago is keep it simple, keep it duplicatable. And that worked really well for me because I came out of a profession as a cross-country truck driver. I worked a lot of hours to make an average income. And while I didn't really know anything about this kind of business, my great fortune when I first left trucking to get involved in network marketing, my sponsors were already $1 million income earners. And so this is what I figured out. They already knew what to do. I didn't have to go figure it out. I didn't have to go, make up my own plan. They already knew what to do. Now, the second thing I figured out, and I want you to think for 1 second, I'm saying I was just, some dumb truck driver and I got rich. No. That's not how it happened. Okay. I'm not a dumb guy. The second thing I figured out is my sponsors weren't going to make any money unless I did. So they had a vested interest in sharing with me correct knowledge and then helping me become successful. And I knew they knew what to do because of their results. That part I didn't have to worry about, and also figured out they wouldn't make any money if they didn't teach me how to be successful. The only other thing that was necessary was the work part. And see, that part didn't scare me. I've always had good work ethics. I've always been the guy that was willing to do what was necessary to accomplish my goal, which back in the trucking days was to be a great truck driver. Now, if you understand the simplicity, share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same, let's talk about that because that's all there is we do. So let's talk about sharing the product. 3 simple things, okay? And you're going to find everything, for as long as we work together, you're going to find that everything I talk about is step 1, step 2, step 3. There's a reason for it. It's simple, okay? The average person can learn it. The average person can teach it. So how do we share our product? Number 1, use the product. See, most people think sales is all about, product knowledge and application and being able to overcome objections and all that kind of stuff. And guess what? The percentage of people in the world today that are good salespeople is very small. I want to have an opportunity that's available for the masses. Remember what I said a couple of minutes ago. This is a business of a lot of people doing a little. And so how do you sell our product? Number 1, use the product. You don't have to worry about all the ingredients if you've got a personal testimonial on what's happened to you on the products. I started using our original Moringa drink. About 6-8 months before I started with Zija, I'd always been in good health. I've always been an active guy, but I had a major shoulder surgery. And it was a significant surgery. It was supposed to be a little orthoscopic thing, 2 little tiny holes in there. When I woke up, there was this big old gash in my shoulder, a couple extra screws that hadn't been in there before. It was quite dramatic. The rehab went terribly wrong. And after about 6 months, they pulled me out of rehab. The doctor said, hey, this is about the best we got. I was on massive doses of anti-inflammatory drugs just to be able to move my shoulder in the morning. It was the kind of drugs that you're not supposed to be on for very long, not if you want to keep your liver. 4 days using our original Moringa drink. I woke up that 5th morning, forgot to take my drugs. I haven't taken one since. Now, I'm not saying that Zija cures things because we can't. We're a nutritional company. All we can really say about our products is that we provide nutrition. But if you think about it, when you give the body what it's supposed to have, doesn't it make sense the body's going to do the very best it can to take care of itself? And that's our approach. Now, my personal testimonial is how I share the product. I tell people about the products I use, what's happened to me. I tell the stories of others. So how do you sell the product? Number 1, use the product. Number 2, talk to people. See, you can't keep this a secret. Number 3, share your story on the products and the stories of others. That is the most effective and efficient way to sell the products. Now, let's talk about the second thing we do, because first, we share our products. Secondly, we share our opportunity. How do you, if you will, sell the opportunity? Number 1, use the products. What makes this a viable business is the product. If we didn't have a good product, we wouldn't have a great business. So use the products, be a product of the product. Number two, talk to people. You can't keep this a secret. And then number three, tell your story of what's happened to you in the business and share the stories of others. Because honestly, I got to tell you, there is nothing more motivating to get somebody interested in looking at what we do than the results we've had from the product and results that we've had from our income opportunity. All the other information we think is important for people, that all comes after the fact. We want people to see the results, and then we talk about, the Ken Brailsford story, the product story, our compensation plan. Those all simply reinforce a decision somebody's already essentially made if they've heard the story. So what do? We share the product, we share the opportunity. How do we do that? Use the products, talk to people, and then share the stories. Stories of results in the product, stories of results in the business, our stories and the stories of others. And then the final step is we teach others to do the same. Now, the exciting thing about this business, if you keep it this simple, this is how it works the best and the fastest. We have a system. The system is simple to do, simple to teach, and can be duplicated by the average person. And this comes, some of this stuff is the kinds of things that are taught in MBA school, right? Masters in Business Administration. Small businesses, small opportunities are people dependent, okay? Somebody has to know a lot, do really good. Large businesses are systems dependent. And this is really key. I'm going to use McDonald's as an example. Now, I'm certainly not endorsing McDonald's as a great, source of nutrition. Okay, I'm not encouraging you to run out and buy McDonald's. Buying a McDonald's franchise, if you can get past the fact that you're delivering poison to people, I didn't say that, by the way, because I don't want to get sued. That's a great business, okay, because it is highly system dependent. Now, do McDonald's have the best hamburger in the world? I'm going to tell you, no, they don't. Okay, I've had the best hamburger in the world. It's Molokai Burger right there at the corner of the 450 and the 460 in Molokai. That is, it's one of the top all-time 2 or 3 burgers I've ever had. Is McDonald's the best burger in the world? No, but they have a system that is so specific. If you go to McDonald's anywhere in the country, it's the same hamburger. They are a very successful business because they rely on systems as opposed to unique people. And it's still the #1 fast food franchise in the world, McDonald's, okay? Small businesses are people dependent. Large businesses are systems dependent. And if you want to extrapolate that to our business, the key to success is not to be special, but rather be the guy or gal that follows the system. So let's talk about the system. First element, and this really comes from what I just shared with you. How do we sell a product? How do we, recruit people for our opportunity? First, use the product. Second, talk to people. Third, share the stories. Okay, well, the people, got to talk to people, and the way to start is to start with people that we know. And so we create a list. Now, it's important to understand. Some people say, well, I feel funny making money off of my friends and family. I don't really want to go to my friends and family, and people I know. What are they going to think about me? Well, first things first. If you just dropped, $200,000, $400,000 to, open a restaurant, open up a, boutique clothing store, are you not going to tell your friends and family about it? If they come to your restaurant wanting to buy, the blue plate special, you're going to say, oh no, don't buy from me. I feel funny making money off you. Go down the street to this restaurant, get their steak. Well, is that steak better? Well, no, actually mine's better. Is that steak less expensive? No, actually, we got really good pricing here. Why would you send them away? I mean, that's silly. Okay. Uh, People, well, I don't know what, I don't want to talk to people I know. What will they think of me? Folks, I got to tell you, whatever your friends or family or acquaintances think about you, they already think about you. Trust me. Being involved with Zija, world-class company, world-class products, that's not going to change what they think about you. About the only thing it's going to do is maybe they're going to think more highly of you. So go talk to them. Find out what they think about you. Get past these issues that keep the masses in bondage. All right? So it starts with the list. Now, most people, like me back when I first started in this industry, we think about, maybe 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 people that we know, okay? And, and they tend to be the people we associate with on a regular basis, the people that we would invite over to the barbecue, or, maybe we'd be invited to their barbecue. Reality is, average person, okay, by the time you hit your late 20s or 30s, the average person knows 200 or 300 people by name. The challenge is we don't necessarily think about them immediately. So we have a strategy. It's called a memory jogger. Here's an example of a memory jogger. It's simply a little paper and pencil tool that will help you identify the people that are in your warm market, your contact base. It's got, there's like, a couple of hundred different types of people that everybody knows. And this is a way to help you create a potential prospect list, because all you really need to do is have people to share the story with. Now, obviously, it is simple, but there's a specific way to do it. I encourage you to use a memory jogger. And then secondly, instead of just writing, the names down on little scraps of paper, get a notebook. Get something that's quasi, permanent. I like these kinds of things because they're spiral. First of all, they're cheap. You can get them for like, $5 for, $2 or $3, and they'll stick around for a while. And then here's the process. Start with your memory jogger. Start with the first item. First item is, members of your family, mother, father, father-in-law, grandparents, children, brothers, sisters. Okay, and here's the key. Here's the secret. As you see a particular person on the list, write down a name, okay? And the secret is, do not prejudge if they'd be interested in using your product. Do not prejudge if they'd be interested in your income opportunity, and do not prejudge whether they're interested in talking to you, okay? The rules of the game to creating the list is names on paper. How many can you do? So, for example, well, I can't go to Aunt Mary. Aunt Mary wouldn't be interested in using this product. That's not the rules of the game. Don't prejudge whether Aunt Mary be interested in using the product. The rules of the game is how many names go down on paper. There's no way I can go to, my buddy Bob. He's already very successful. Again, you're prejudging whether he'd be interested in this or not. Okay? You need to put the name down. Give you an example. Aunt Mary, you don't know. Aunt Mary just got told by her doctor if she doesn't do something soon to get her blood sugar issues under control, he's going to put her on medication. When she finds out that good nutrition is a key to normalizing blood sugar, she may be very interested. You don't know until you ask. Your buddy Bob seems very, very successful. We saw Dr. Rory Hall and his wife Tammy on the first segment of today's presentation, our Super Saturday. He's a wellness doctor, operates 2 practices, actually acquiring a 3rd one now. Very successful, very business. Why is he involved with Zija? Because we got the thing that he can't get from his business: time, freedom, and residual income. The day they stop their practice is the day they stop making money. Several of the people that have joined my Zija business were already millionaires before Zija. Why did they get involved in Zija? Because the day they shut down their businesses, they stopped making money. See, we've got something that virtually everybody needs, whether it be supplemental income, a few $100s a week without having to get a part-time job. You can't prejudge. Here's the last one. Don't prejudge whether they're interested in talking to you. Give you an example. On the memory jogger, one of the things it'll talk about is schoolmates, classmates from college, from high school, from junior high. Well, everybody can think about 2 or 3 of their best friends from high school, but maybe you haven't talked to them in, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, like me, 45 years. Don't prejudge whether they'd be interested in talking to you. You never know. This industry is full of stories of people who were called by a friend they hadn't talked to in 20 years at a time that the potential distributor was praying for an opportunity to take them from where they were. And, what is the worst thing that somebody can tell you? No. That is the absolute worst thing that somebody can tell you. I am not interested. And so the exciting thing is everybody needs our product, and almost everybody would like more income, more time freedom, more fun. The fact is everybody wants what we've got, and it doesn't take that many. So starts with a list. This is the key to creating the resource we need, which is to talk to people. Now, how do we do this? How do we talk to them? Simple system. Put this in your notes, because this is actually the key to success. Follow a simple system. First of all, it works. Secondly, it's easy to teach. Third, it can be duplicated by the average person. Here's your system. Number 1, invite people to take a look. Okay. Now, make a decision. When you do that list, segregate that list. Some of the people on that list you're going to talk to about the product. Some of the people on the list you're going to talk to about our business. It's most important to understand that you talk about one thing. Okay. Everybody on your list can be in the potential customer category. As long as they have a heartbeat, okay, everybody can use our products, okay, but they got to have a heartbeat, okay. As good as each of products are, we have yet to have a story of bringing somebody back from the dead. Actually, to the best of my knowledge, that's only happened once. That was a couple of thousand years ago. So to qualify to be on the prospect list, they got to have a heartbeat. Everybody qualifies to be a potential customer. But some of those people on that list, they're going to go on to your other category, which is potential business prospects. Now, they have to qualify to be on that list. This is the qualifications I look for. Number 1, look for people on your potential distributor prospect list. Look for people that have large circles of influence, a large contact base. That could be, business environment, could be, church, community, social activities, family, whatever. Look for people with large circles of influence. Number 2, look for people that have good credibility within those circles of influence. At that point in time, because you're working in an area of with people that you have some familiarity with, you can identify something that might interest them. The invitation to look at what we have, whether it's an invitation to look at our products, okay, maybe Aunt Mary has been trying every, fad diet for the last 20 years, okay? Invite her to take a look at a program you found that's all natural and is helping people lose weight, keep the weight off, and feel good while they're doing it. Would you be interested in getting some information about that? That's the invitation. The invitation was framed up in a manner that spoke to them. Okay. How about the young couple? Okay. They've got, now we're talking about the opportunity. Young couple had their first baby, second baby's on the way, mom and dad are working. Would they be interested in hearing about a way to create an additional income stream that would be enough to maybe keep one of the parents home to raise the kids? If you look at, and there's a lot of people in that category. If you look at it, when you figure out what it costs for 2 parents to work out of the home, you've got additional, transportation costs, because both have to get to work, wardrobe costs, childcare costs, food costs. Food costs more when you have 2 working parents because nobody's at home cooking. You got to buy the food, prepared and bring it home. When you look at that, if you take a look at what the actual income is from that second parent working, in most cases, a couple of $100 a week would replace the income necessary to keep one of the parents home to raise the kids. And how many young couples would like to have an opportunity of that? Here's another category: people getting close to retirement age. When you look at people that are approaching retirement age, sadly, the vast majority of people approaching retirement age have no plan. They are afraid of what's going to happen when they quit working because their income is going to drop significantly. You don't have to make millions. I'm telling you right now, for the average person going into retirement, if they had an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month, that would change everything. And most people are thinking about retracting their lifestyle when they hit retirement. That's when you want more money so you can jump on an airplane and go see grandbabies and spoil them, right? It doesn't take that much, but your invitation will be much more successful if you frame up that invitation with something that is meaningful to the individual. So invite people to take a look. Now, what you're typically going to have is something like, well, I might be interested. Tell me all about it. That's where you move into the second step, which is the presentation. First step is invitation. Second step of the system is presentation. Now, this is critical to understand. The presentation is not what you do. Okay, the invitation is what you do. You're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to invite them to take a look. The presentation is not what you do. We use tools for the presentation. We have videos, whether it be on the product or the income opportunity. We have live presentations, local meetings, in-home meetings, hotel meetings. We've got webinars like this. There is a wide variety of tools available to you to be able to share the information. What's important to understand is that the tool does the presentation, not you. And there's a couple of reasons for that. In most cases, you will not be able to share the information as effectively and efficiently as a tool will be. And on the other side of the coin, if you're a great presenter, you are doing something that isn't duplicatable by the average person. The average person might go, wow, it sounds like a great opportunity, but I could never be as good a presenter as Mary or Bob. So use the tools. Tools always do the same presentation every time, and they are duplicatable by the average person. One of my favorite ways to transition, when I do my effective invitation, would you like to learn more? And the person says, tell me all about it. I take control of the conversation. I say a simple thing like, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you this video. I'm going to hand you this DVD to look at. I'm going to have you join me for an online presentation, come out to me, whatever. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. Take away the need to be the one giving the information. Allow the tool to do the information. Third step. Number one, invitation. That's what you do. Number two, presentation. That's what the tools do. And the number three, and this is the most important step in the system, third-party validation. Validation. Somebody else telling the story. Whether it's from a product perspective, you can invite somebody to look at our products. You can give them some information. Put somebody else in line to tell their story. But the most effective time is when you're building the distribution organization. Get somebody else, third step, validation. Get somebody else to tell the story, to document or validate the potential of our opportunity. This is critical. Don't be the one that tries to explain you can be successful in our business. Take one of the people that is part of your upline support team and let them share the information. Especially if you're just getting started, the successful upline will know how to address questions, know how to effectively lead people to action, and they've got the story. You can talk all about a great opportunity. What most people want to know is, does it work? And so make sure you're using the leverage of your upline, your successful upline people. Now, that's really all there is. Okay. I mean, I'd like to tell you there's more. Okay. But that's really all there is. Understand what our business model is. It's a model of creating a consumer base. You can do it all by yourself, or you can enlist the support of others and create a large consumer base. And the larger the consumer base, the larger the income. And what we do is pretty simple. We share the product, we share the opportunity, and we teach others to do the same. And as far as the teaching part, it's a system, 3 steps. Invite people to take, well, first start with your list. Then from that list, work from the list, invite people to look at our product. Invite people to look at our opportunity and follow a simple system. Invitation, use the tools for the presentation, use your upline for the validation. Now, the most exciting part about what's happening right now is that Zija's been around long enough. Every single one of you, even somebody who's not yet started with Zija, maybe the person that introduced you has been in Zija an hour longer than you, a day longer than you, a week longer than you. Maybe they don't know any more than you do other than they can spell Zija. Guess what? There's somebody in the genealogy and the structure that is more knowledgeable than the person that invited you. Even if your sponsor is brand new, you can plug into the success of the upline distributors and all the resources that are available. People like myself, I have been putting a lot of new training material on my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search for Fred Holmes Zija, you'll find my channel. I'm putting on a lot of information there to help you. There's other people involved in the organization, people like Pat Anderson. Many of you recognize that name. She's got her website where she's putting a lot of training information. But the critical part of this endeavor that's going to make every bit of difference, work upline to find your upline success story. In our business, understand, be very clear on this. The only reason somebody like myself can create the kind of income that I have created, and I'm not bragging here, this is simply an artifact of being a guy that has good work ethics, very coachable, and a desire to succeed. The only way that I've been able to do this is because I've helped many, many people. And so make us earn our income. Contact your upline, diamond or emerald or platinum, whatever. The people that know how to do this are waiting to help you. So I've kept this to a minimal amount of time. I hope this information has been helpful to you and that you found value in the time that you invested with us. I'm excited about what's happening with Zija right now. I'm excited about each one of you. And it really comes down to all the things we've had for the last 8, almost 9 years that I've been involved in. Incredible corporate leadership, phenomenal products, and an opportunity to do something really, really good at the same time create income. But I'm more excited today than I've ever been because I know what's about to happen. I've been there. Okay, I was with a previous company that went from $100 million a year in sales to $500 million a year in sales, and I made a fortune in that period of time. And that company was nothing. On a scale of 1 to 10, that company was a 2 compared to Zija at 11 in terms of our potential. 10 days from now, on our Zija Nation call, the company will announce a program that will put into place the next wave. We are forcing the second wave. You do not want to miss the second wave. There are people that aren't even in Zija today that over the next 24 to 36 months will become our top income earners because of what's about to happen with our company. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it down. It's a Saturday. I'm going to go check on Mom. I'm going to get brunch going for her. Had a great time being here. I hope you've had a good time too. This recording will be posted to my YouTube channel here a little bit later in the day. If you had somebody that you wanted to get involved in the training or the first half of the presentation, send them over there. When you get to my YouTube channel, subscribe. That way you will get an email notification that a new video has been posted. With that, thank you for joining me. Good to see y'all, or at least maybe good to be seen. Have a great rest of your day. I'm looking forward to speaking with every one of you here as soon as possible. Take care.